In the quiet corners of your home, unseen forces gather. Energy that should flow freely becomes trapped, blocking your wealth. A simple handful of salt, placed with intention, can shift that energy, can open the way for prosperity to find you. Stay with me, because today you'll learn a powerful ritual to awaken the hidden abundance already waiting inside your home. Every home has silent corners, places we rarely touch, barely notice. But energy lingers there, and when that energy becomes stagnant, it starts to block what was meant to flow. Abundance, clarity, peace. Today, we're going to rediscover those forgotten spaces, and with just a handful of salt, transform them into powerful gateways for prosperity to move freely through your life again. Stay close. Let's awaken the wealth hidden within your home. And as we journey together today, every step will reveal a layer of energy, hidden in the spaces you thought you knew. Stay with me until the very end, because sometimes it's the final key that unlocks the greatest flow. Every space we live in holds energy, but few realize the corners are where that energy collects, lingers, and speaks the loudest. Imagine walking into a grand, open room. The center feels airy, alive. But at the edges, in the corners, you might feel a heaviness, a stillness. That stillness is not peace. It's stagnation. Energy, like water, needs to flow. When energy pools in the corners without movement, without renewal, it becomes dense. It becomes heavy. And instead of nourishing your life, your wealth, your spirit, it starts to weigh you down. In ancient Feng Shui teachings, corners were known as the silent guardians of prosperity. They either protect your wealth or quietly erode it, bit by bit, year after year. When the energy at the corners grows stale, opportunities seem to slip away. Money leaks through unnoticed expenses. New paths seem blocked, as if life itself moves slower, heavier, more resistant. And the hardest part? You might not even realize it, because you don't see energy with your eyes. You feel it with your spirit, with the sudden tiredness you can't explain, with the money you work hard for, yet never seem able to grow. That's why today, we're not just talking about decoration. We're talking about unlocking the silent doors, where your prosperity is waiting, trapped, hoping you'll finally notice. In every ancient culture, salt was never just a seasoning. It was sacred, a guardian, a bridge between worlds. But while salt can cleanse, if placed without intention, it can also anchor the very stagnation you wish to release. Salt holds an incredible ability. It absorbs and neutralizes stagnant energies. It acts like a sponge for emotions left behind: stress, fear, arguments, sadness. Yet salt is not passive. It must be activated through mindful placement. In spiritual traditions from Egypt to Tibet, salt was placed deliberately at entry points, thresholds, and most importantly, at the corners of sacred spaces. Why corners? Because corners are where old energies settle. They're crossroads where unseen currents either build or block. When you place salt with clear intention in the four corners of your home, you are sending a powerful message into the unseen. This space is protected. This space is clear. This space invites flow. Salt doesn't just sit. It works. Day and night, it silently absorbs, shields, and resets the energetic pathways of your home. Think about the spaces you live in. Are there arguments that once echoed through these walls? Fears whispered late at night? Heavy silences after long, difficult days? What if the corners you thought were empty are still holding echoes of those moments, quietly blocking the prosperity trying to reach you? And if something so simple, so ancient, can hold such power, I imagine what could happen when you finally place it with pure, focused intention. If a part of you feels a quiet stirring right now, sensing that there's something more alive within your home, honor that feeling, because where energy flows, abundance follows. Stay with me, and let's unlock it together. And if you feel called to, share your thoughts below. Even a single word can start shifting your energy. Sometimes, it's not the grand gestures, but the quiet, simple acts that stir the deepest shifts in our lives. Let me share with you a story, one that began with just a handful of salt and a heart ready to believe. There was once a woman living in a beautiful home. From the outside, her life seemed calm, even fortunate, but inside, she often felt a strange heaviness. Mornings began with a weight she couldn't name. Opportunities she reached for seemed to slip like water through her hands. One evening, at a small spiritual gathering, someone spoke of an ancient ritual, a practice as simple as it was powerful, placing bowls of pure salt at the four corners of her living space. No grand ceremonies, no dramatic changes, just quiet trust. That night, she went home. In the soft glow of a single candle, she placed small bowls of salt, one in each corner of her home. She whispered a simple intention with each one. May stagnant energy dissolve. May abundance find its way to me again. Days passed. Not much seemed different at first, but slowly, the air inside her home began to feel lighter. She noticed she laughed more. Small blessings appeared. A forgotten refund check arrived. A neighbor offered unexpected help. New clients reached out without her chasing them. It wasn't a magic spell. It wasn't superstition. It was alignment. She had invited energy to flow again, and with it wealth followed, like a river remembering its path. If a few grains of salt, placed with pure intention, could create such a shift, imagine what could happen if you too welcomed this ritual into your home. Stories like hers remind me that it's not always the complicated rituals or the endless chasing of abundance that shift our lives. Sometimes, it's in the simple moments. A bowl of salt, a whispered intention, a willingness to clear space inside and out, that real magic happens. Energy doesn't respond to how much we struggle. It responds to how open we are, to letting it flow freely. And now, if you feel ready to awaken that flow within your own home, let's begin together with the Salt Corners ritual. If just a handful of salt, placed with care, can shift the energy of an entire home, imagine what might happen when you do it with full conscious intention. Many think that placing salt is enough simply setting it down and walking away. But it's not just about where you place it. It's about how you place it, the awareness you bring, the energy you anchor. So today, let's walk through the Salt Corners ritual together, a simple, powerful act of clearing, inviting new flow, and welcoming abundance home. Begin by gathering your tools. 4 small bowls made of glass or ceramic and pure natural sea salt. Avoid metal or plastic if you can. Natural materials hold energy more gently. Before placing anything, take a soft cloth and gently wipe each of the 4 corners of your main living space. As you clean, Imagine the dust lifting not just from the surface, but from the energy itself, clearing old weight, forgotten worries, hidden stagnation. Then, hold the bowls of salt in your hands. Close your eyes for a moment. Whisper an intention into the salt, something as simple and true as, "With this salt, I clear the way for abundance to flow." Now, place each bowl carefully into the corners. Not hurriedly, not thoughtlessly, but with a breath of gratitude at each step. As you set them down, imagine tiny beacons of light beginning to glow, quiet guardians, dissolving the old, opening space for the new. Leave the bowls untouched for 7 to 14 days. Check them gently from time to time. If you notice the salt clumping, yellowing, or hardening, that's not a mistake. That's the salt doing its silent work, pulling in what no longer serves your space. When the time comes to complete the ritual, gather the salt with care. Do not throw it in the regular trash. Instead, return it to nature, bury it in the earth with gratitude, or dissolve it into a flowing river if you can. Because when we offer back what we've released, we close the circle and invite fresh blessings to take root. This ritual isn't about superstition. It's about alignment. It's about making a conscious choice to clear the hidden blocks, to breathe new life into forgotten spaces, to say with your actions, not just your words, "I am ready for prosperity to find me." And as your home begins to shift, as the air grows lighter, and the corners no longer whisper heaviness but hum with quiet possibility, you may just find the opportunities, the abundance, the ease you've been longing for begin quietly, gracefully, to return to you. Sometimes the changes begin so quietly you might almost miss them. A certain lightness in the morning air, a feeling that your footsteps sound clearer, softer, as if the walls themselves are exhaling a long-held breath. After performing the Salt Corners ritual, you may start to notice subtle shifts, not dramatic fireworks, but gentle awakenings. You might find that conversations in your home feel warmer, that laughter comes more easily, that silence feels comforting rather than heavy. You may notice unexpected blessings arriving, a long-delayed payment clearing, an opportunity opening seemingly from nowhere, a sense of timing that finally feels right. Even without obvious material signs, you may sense it inwardly, a quiet alignment, a trust that prosperity is no longer pushing against locked doors but moving with you, naturally, gracefully. And sometimes, the evidence appears in your own spirit first. You wake with lighter thoughts. You feel nudges to act on ideas you might have hesitated over before. You welcome small risks. You trust the unfolding. These are not coincidences. They are signs, quiet, luminous confirmations that your home's energy has realigned, that the stagnant currents have lifted, and that the channels of wealth and vitality are now open, flowing steadily once more. If you have felt even one of these shifts, trust it. Celebrate it, however small, because every ripple you create in your energy field ripples outward, drawing abundance back to you in ways seen and unseen. I know this because my own home once held that same silent weight. I didn't realize it at first. I simply felt tired more often. Opportunities seemed to take longer to reach me. Even celebrations felt muted somehow. It wasn't until I cleared my space with simple, conscious rituals like the Salt Corners that I understood how deeply a home's energy weaves into the fabric of our lives. Sometimes, the heaviest blocks are the ones we can't see, but we can feel them, and we can choose to release them. If today's journey resonated with you, even in the smallest way, I invite you to leave a comment below, to share what shifts you're hoping to welcome into your space. Sometimes, putting an intention into words is the very first step toward making it real. If you found this ritual meaningful, consider liking and sharing this video so that more homes and more hearts can remember how to flow freely again. The flow of abundance isn't something we force. It's something we align with by clearing our spaces, by honoring the unseen. We open the channels that were always meant to carry prosperity into our lives. May your home breathe lighter, may your steps feel freer, and may you remember always that small acts of intention hold great power. I clear space for wealth to flow to me naturally, gracefully, and with joy. If today's ritual resonated with you, I would love to hear your thoughts below. Every story shared here weaves a stronger field of abundance for us all. Thank you for being here, for walking this gentle path with me. Until next time, stay open, stay flowing, and trust the blessings already on their way to you.